Sup nerds, I'm Tom.
I'm Wes.
And I'm Aaron.
We're here talking about Tyrants of the Underdark. Look at that beast. So personally, I really think I was probably the one who was most excited about this game before it even came out. I heard about it, I just heard deck building plus area control, and my head kind of exploded. Now,
And also that it was made by the Lords of Waterdeep.
that too, Lords of Waterdeep is in my top 10. What, Tom, you have a top 10 video? Yeah, go check that out. The fact that people would say, oh, it's a deck builder plus area control made by the people who did Lords of Waterdeep, clearly they're trying to say it's a lot like Lords of Waterdeep. And it is in the fact that it's just very well designed. It's very tight. When it comes towards the end, it's always kind of a nail biter. Like, I don't know. You know how you're always like, oh, well, this guy's clearly going to win in some games. You know, you're just like, oh, you're like 3/4 of the way through and you're like, oh, this guy's just crushing it right now.
We call that a Wesley.
We definitely don't call it that. In this game, though, we almost like argue who's going to win. It's like, dude, no, he's the biggest threat.
Start going after that guy. Like, we all need to attack him. I'm definitely not winning. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
And then after like 5 minutes, you're like, wait a second.
Now
that guy over there.
That, to me, is a really good just design feature. The fact that there's so many different ways that you can get victory points with
promoting
the cards in your deck, strategically holding the locations, control versus total control.
Yeah, the total control collecting victory points each turn is super.
Oh, that, yeah. With those, because there's, like, you can see that. You can see somebody go, oh, wow, he's getting 4 victory points every single turn. And then another person will say, yeah, but look at your promotion circle. Like, you got, like, this many cards in there, dude. Shut up.
And I like that because it, like, Risk, you know, someone can, like, turtle, especially in a big game, and just build this huge army and hold out till the end. And that could be, you can get put in an advantage. In this game, like, there is some turtling if you get those total control points and you're getting a bunch of victory points. But if you're doing that, you're like a target. Because not only are you, like, amassing your force, one, you have a limited number of people you can get. So it's not like you can just try to get all your people on the board because they're going to get killed off and it's space limited. But also,
space limited too.
They can see that you're getting, like, oh, he's getting 3 victory points a turn because he's holding that. I got to go take that. And in the spy aspect where you can, like, put a spy across the board and just instantly start dropping troops on the other side of the board, like right in the middle of their thing. Yeah. They can't, you know, in Risk, you have like your fortified borders and then everything else is like one guy because as long as your walls are strong, it doesn't matter how much you have. In this game, you can be like, oh, I'm going to go past your wall and be in your, like, right in the middle of everything and take that from you.
One thing I didn't notice about this game, it's very purple.
It is very purple. It's a very purple game. That's probably the biggest negative that I would have.
Purple.
Dude, purple is just the worst.
The all purple makes it really hard to differentiate your cards quickly if you like look at them. Like other deck builders, you'd be like, okay, my red cards, I know they're like attack, and my blue cards are my healing cards. And you can just like break them down and look at them real quickly. But these, it's like, okay, I need the different types.
Yeah, the subtypes and everything.
Yeah, like you can't easily look at them.
Words. Ugh.
Yeah. I can't remember what they were called, but like you can't just like
malice, conquest, those things.
Yeah. You can't just like look at them and know besides reading up in the top corner because there's no color to break them down.
And I didn't notice a lot of that because the game we played there wasn't a lot of like type synergy.
Yeah,
but you're telling me in some decks really rely heavily on keywords.
So I've definitely played this game the most out of all of us. I played, with every half deck because you mix 2 together, and I've played with almost every combination therein. And I definitely do notice that there are some that are just way better than others. The one that does all the insane outcasts that put them in other people's decks, I don't really like that mechanic that much. I mean, it's fun. And, when I'm playing it, I'm getting in with it. I'm like, oh, no, you're taking 2 and you're taking 3. But I'd much rather just, like, focus on my own thing, build up my deck well, place my units correctly, than just really trying to screw my friends over just by, like, I hope you get terrible draws later,
Which is funny, because I'm the opposite. Like, that's what that's my favorite deck in this game, because I love playing backstabbing. I love, like, hey, I'm doing good, but what's more important to me is how bad I'm making you do. Yeah. Like, haha, you got nothing this turn.
I think my favorite one is the one with all the synergy, the focus, because that is really powerful, especially because, like, I'm just sitting there staring at the board. I don't have any downtime during those games if we're playing with that half deck because I'm constantly staring like, there's a malice card and there's a malice card. Don't take it. Whatever you do, don't take it. Okay, you took that one. Okay. Don't take that last one. Please, nobody, like, in my head, obviously. Probably the biggest complaint I have is that I just want more. Those 4 half decks and the different combinations, yeah, but, like...
There'll be more.
There definitely will. Please come out with just like half decks. Just that's it. Just hey, there's a new half deck. There's a new half deck, and it's I'll pay $8, $10 per whatever. Just those cards. I'll sleeve them up, put them in this box. I don't need a second expansion box. I don't need another mini board. Okay, actually, I want all that. But in addition to that, I want you to just pump out a bunch of expansions of half decks for this, and I buy them every single time. You have a constant customer for that.
Gale Force 9 is about to release them all at $6 each, and they're like, no, Tom said $10.
Tom
Mark
said
those up.
$10. What are you? I would totally pay $10.
No, I think that they designed this game well, that they can crank out expansions like that. They can just say, hey, every quarter we're putting out another half deck, we're putting out 2 decks that can work well together, or something like that. And there's no limit to how many they can put out.
I would honestly be okay if they came out with a second base set of this with just a different board, and then the half decks that are in there are cross-compatible, like
Nice.
Dead Winter. I would be totally down with that.
And if you could push the 2 boards together to make it an
What?
8-player game.
Honestly,
It would take forever to get to your turn, though.
do that now.
So I did like the player reference boards. It has a spot for your deck and your discards, and it has your turn order here, and then a spot for all your troops that you haven't used, and then a place to keep all of the troops that you've captured, which are in your trophy hall. So I like that they made it where your player area is really well organized.
I also really appreciate when games incorporate like the reference card into your player boards, because no one actually carries reference cards around. I feel like they get forgotten, but
It's a lot better than having just one reference card that gets passed around to
Yeah.
everybody, because that's the worst. Camet. Sorry, what?
so as far as the theme goes for this game, I didn't feel like it really clicked into the deep part of the game. I felt like if you completely stripped this theme off and put another theme on top of it, it wouldn't affect the game at all. Like Lords of Waterdeep, I really do feel like I'm a lord and I'm controlling people and moving them around the city. In this game, I didn't get any of the Dungeons and Dragons theme. The pictures were cool and stuff, but as far as feeling like I was really trying to control different parts of a city, it didn't really feel at all like the theme made the game any better.
Well, in any area control game, I do kind of get that feeling that I'm controlling the area, that I'm strategically going out to certain parts of the map and making sure that I, control them and you don't take them back from me, kind of thing. And I think Aaron said it best when he said that the theme was hinted at. There were a couple of cards where I got the flavor from it, and I guess the spy thing kind of makes sense, but you're right. For me, I also didn't feel like the theme did it for me. I didn't see the theme and I was like, oh, that's so cool. Whoa.
So I will say that as far as feeling like you were moving from town to town, I think what I didn't get from that was the fact that there wasn't an actual map. It was just this spider web with different names at the joints.
Yeah.
That in a Risk game you have an actual map and you have the different countries that you're moving around and they all touch. This, it was just the spider webs, and I think that was part of what
It pulled you away
I
from
didn't
that.
feel like it was actually area control.
Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed this game, mainly just because, again, deck building, love it. Area control, I started getting into gaming because of Risk, so duh, right there.
Smash them together.
I don't think it's going to make it into my top 10 next year, per se. It's not that good, but I did consider it. I did stop, as I was playing it once, go, would this be a top 10 game for me? Would that happen? And I thought, maybe not. But again, I thought about it. So this would be a top 25 for me, probably, given more plays.
Yeah, I want to play it more, but that could also just be because I haven't played it a lot yet. I don't feel like I haven't gotten my fix on this game. And I think that, after, 3 or 4 more plays, I might be all right, cool. I can put that book back on the shelf now. I finished it.
This could become one of my top favorite games if they come
What?
out with more expansions.
Okay.
Really?
Because I just really like deck builders, and
yeah.
this has that aspect as part of the main game, and then, the whole, area control, I really like that too. So if they were to come out with more decks and have more replayability and more, smashing together, because that's what I really like about, DC and Marvel and the other deck builders.
It's legendary.
Yeah, it's
You couldn't even
legendary.
think of this, man. Closing thought I'm going to leave you with here is if you're already watching this, you're going, another deck builder. I already have DC, Legendary, and Dominion. I don't need another one. I felt that same way too. But after playing it, I feel like, it still does the deck building things that normal deck builders do, but it does it in a different way and really incorporates it into the area control portion of the board that I feel it deserves its own slot. Like I already thought, no, I'm done with deck builders. I have enough on my shelf. I'm good. But this one I would probably throw out another deck builder to keep this if it ever came down to it. But I hope it never does.
I mean, if this looks like something you guys are interested in, go ahead and check out the purchase link below. And while you're here, don't forget to subscribe so you'll never be bored.
So Gale Force 9, send me a different copy because this one has a, like, in the shipping when I pre-ordered it. Tyrants of the Underdark.
Oh yeah.
I have no idea how it happened. It must have been in shipping or something, but